Hello, everyone. I am super duper excited about this moment. I'm not so sure he is.
I'm not so sure I am.
I knew you were going to say that because this has been a long time in the making. So I have asked Nirmal. Nirmal is the CEO of Virgin Voyages. If you do not know who he is, this is the coolest guy at Virgin Voyages. I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone else would beg to differ, but I'd say you're pretty cool.
Thank you. It's very kind.
Thank you so much for joining me.
I've been ducking this for a while,
You
as
have.
you know. Yeah.
I know.
But you've kind of got me cornered now.
Well,
so
I think someone helped me out with that. I think someone helped me out getting cornered here.
No, this is great. I love watching the channel. I love watching all the interactions. I love watching everyone interact with everything that's going on. So it's wonderful to be on. Thank you for inviting me, even though it didn't feel that way.
No, I think I was invited, which I'm very excited about. That, like I said, this has been a long time. So we have been talking about this forever. When I said to him a couple days, well, it was like about a year ago, right? In headquarters, I said, so do you think you go on the podcast? And he was like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. And I was like, wait, what? And so he's like, yeah, you'll have to do the, X amount of sales or whatever. It's like an astronomical number he wanted me to sell for him to come on the podcast.
I guess you hit the number.
Yeah, I guess I hit the number. So here we are. We have a couple questions for them all. And some of them are super easy and some of them are fun. I just learned a really cool thing right before we started, but we'll leave that for the end.
All right. Perfect.
So the people, the sailors on my channel, they ask a lot about this, is pricing. And it's something that you and I have talked about frequently. You had some volatile pricing for a little bit there. And we talked about it, and you were like, we're going to stabilize it. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. No more dynamic pricing. Where do you see that going from now on? Like,
perfect. Well, hopefully I talked to you about it, pitched it better than that. Awesome.
It wasn't just like that.
No, look, the reality is, I want this brand to be phenomenal value for money. I think it's been something that Virgin has really built its name around, right? For 50 years, we've been a brand that's always provided great value for money for all of our customers around the world. For our sailors in particular, and for your sailors, we want to provide great value for money, right? Yeah. And, when we were, when the brand was growing a lot, and particularly last year, last year was really a monumental year for the brand, right? The brand, we had a lot of traction. So more people keep asking about the brand now. We had a lot of demand coming in, and when that happens, then you tend to want to adjust pricing a little bit too frequently. And so we realized that we probably got to some places where we want great value for money. Yeah. And we adjusted some of those things that you and I talked about. Yeah. And now we have a very stable pricing environment that I think makes sense to people. But ultimately, what I care about the most, right, is that your sailors are able to come on board our ships, have an incredible time. I always want them to feel like rock stars on board our ships, but I want them to walk away and say that was a phenomenal value for money holiday, right? And I think we see that still, right? There were moments in time there where I think it maybe go a little bit ahead of ourselves from where we need to be. But right now, what I keep hearing over and over again is that people come on board, they love the experience, they want to rebook, and they thought it was phenomenal value for money. I think it's really important. Look, travel nowadays, it's challenging, right? Travel nowadays, a lot of brands are looking to take things away. A lot of brands are looking to cut quality. Yeah. We're very focused on maintaining the quality. We're very focused on giving people more. Yeah. And again, making sure that we have a great value for money offering.
I love that. I do love that about you guys. It's one of my favorite things because as a travel agent, it's super easy to sell that and say that I think this is all the stuff that's included. That's the one thing that I try to really, really hone in on, all the stuff that's included that no other cruise line actually includes. And I think that the value is phenomenal in my opinion. So
no, it is. And look, I think it's particularly pointed now in where travel is, right? Where lots of things are going up in price, lots of quality is coming out, lots of additional charges coming in. And so you get on board our ships, you've got Wi-Fi included, you've got still and sparkling water, you've got soft drinks included, but all the sort of the basic necessity of having a great trip because no one should feel nickel and dime we're on board a Virgin Voyage, and we feel very, very proud about that.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that about that. You guys were able to fix the pricing because that was, I think, one of the things that, was talked about a lot on the group. The other thing that is talked about a lot on the group, is, let's go back in the day. So this is one of my favorite things. Right. I always say back in the day when I talk about you guys, I'm like, well, back in the day. So, and as if it was like, 20 years ago, which we all know wasn't that long ago.
I admit we have been listening. As you know, I do like the feedback. We have a gentleman on the team, Nathan, who's our chief brand officer. He always says to me, feedback is a gift. But it's been great. Honestly, I feel like we have built this brand over the last 2-3 years together with our first mate partners and together with our sailors.
Oh my gosh.
Particularly your sailors have come on board, right? They've given us feedback. I love hearing that feedback. It's a very Virgin thing. It's something that we champions a lot, right? We shouldn't be afraid.
I do love that about you guys, that you listen so well and you change, you adjust to what everyone's saying. I love that. I love that you listen to the travel agents or the travel advisors, because we're, the ones out there selling it and hearing what people are saying. So you can't have your eyes and ears everywhere. So I love that you really appreciate that and really adjust to, accommodate everybody. So
it's been great. Look, along the couple of years we've been on the journey, we've had a lot of feedback around more like music, more comedy. We've heard feedback around our food. Everyone loves our food, as you know, right?
Food's phenomenal.
I think our food is one of the great parts of the voyage. But people have been asking for more variety in our food as well now. So there's new menus coming on board this year. Scarlet Lady has a new restaurant concept, Lucky Lotus, which has been phenomenally well received.
I know, I'm dying.
So you're going to see a lot of these things coming in from the brand, lots of new exciting initiatives coming through. But we love the feedback. And so all your sales, when they come on board, right? Fill out that onboard survey. We read all of it. Trust me, I read a lot of it too.
That's the rumor I hear. That
some of it breaks my heart when I get some feedback from you, Samantha. No. But it's all fair, right? And look, we shouldn't be afraid, right, of being open to feedback. Right? I think sometimes a lot of brands, they get too proud of some of this stuff, right? And even some people in my position, they get proud of stuff. But ultimately, we need to be listening to our crew, listen to our sailors, make sure the product is the best product it can be. One of the things I'm very proud of last year was winning those big consumer awards. Last year, we won Travel and Leisure, we won Condé Nast 2 years in a row.
Which is cool.
Which is actually pretty amazing. But a lot of that, I think, comes down to that real focus on maintaining the product, evolving the product, and listening to the feedback.
Yes, that was one of my questions. So evolving the product. So back in the day, you guys were a very cheeky brand. It had a vibe to it. Nathan just looked up at me like, oh boy, where's she going with this? It's a very cheeky brand. It had a vibe to it. And I feel like you're toning that down just a bit. Where do you see that going in the future? Because I feel like that was keeping you different and not mainstream, right? So like right now, I feel like this is my opinion, it's getting a little mainstream, and I love your cheeky, like different vibe, basically.
Yeah. Well, I still think the cheeky vibe is there.
I do. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I just think it was pure, and it's just a little tamed now.
What I'd say, right, is, and I'm sure your sailors have had this conversation where they potentially talk to a friend.
Yeah.
Like I've had this feedback a lot from people where they say, I went on Virgin Voyages, and I went and told a friend, you've got to go try Virgin Voyages. And, when we first launched the brand 2-3 years ago, there was very much a feeling that the brand was maybe a little bit too risque, right? And maybe not for me, or maybe I wasn't cool enough, maybe I wasn't young enough. And, what we've been trying to do over the last few years is really make sure that we told our story in a better way, right? Because the reality is, this is an environment where everyone can feel comfortable. Right? One of the things I love about these ships, and one of the things I hear loud and loud from our sailors, is I can feel comfortable being myself on that ship.
I love that too.
And whether I want to relax and read a book in my hammock, whether I want to enjoy Scarlet Night, whether I want to wake up and do sunrise yoga, all that's available to me, right? And actually, it is a very inclusive environment rather than an environment that feels very exclusionary, right? And I think sometimes people, for whatever reason, were taking elements of what they heard about the experience or elements of images they've seen about the experience and sort of transporting it to a different place that it really wasn't, to be honest with you. Right? And so we've been trying, particularly as we communicate the brand, to make sure that we don't allow that misperception to kind of be out there. Because the reality is, it is a misperception, right? At the end of the day, it's a great, elevated, sophisticated, relaxing place. So anyone can feel welcome. Whether you're in your 20s or your 30s, whether you're in your 60s or your 70s, everyone feels welcome and comfortable in this environment. And sometimes, it pains you when I hear that feedback, because I want the brand to be inclusive, right? And so I wouldn't really view it as trying to take away the edge or the vibe, because there is a fun, youthful experience on board the ships, but it's not over the top. It's not, a lot. It's not what is a misperception. But that's the reality of the market and the world we're in, right? People like to talk about the extreme, but the reality is, it's a wonderful experience for all. And what I say to people is, we wouldn't have won those mainstream consumer awards if it wasn't the kind of experience I just described.
Very true. I love that point. So a couple more questions. I know we gotta have him go with someone else, because he's a very busy man.
I try to pretend to be busy.
Yeah. Okay. Sailing club. That is a question that we get asked all the time. Where do you see that going? I know it's not its end point, right? Like it's still kind of in having a little zhuzh as we go, right?
Yeah. No, it's another one of these evolving programs. One of the things that's been a phenomenally exciting part of our brand is we have a lot of loyal repeat sailors.
Yes, I love that.
People come on board our ships, and they love being on the ships. They come back and they come back.
Yes.
That is a wonderful blessing.
Yeah.
But it also raises the bar for us in having to actually innovate and fast track a lot of programs that, in theory, when you mapped out our business plan, would have taken a while with the rent. So we've had to, as I mentioned, evolve the food a lot faster than we thought we should. Evolve the entertainment a lot faster. Evolve the itineraries a lot faster, offer more destinations. We just don't have short product now. We've got long products now, right? In the Caribbean coming up in winter 26, 27, we've got long sailings out of Miami, which we've never had before because our repeat sailors are asking for more. They're saying, we want to come back. We want to do new things. We want to go on longer sailings. We want to go to new destinations. And so destinations will be a big part of how we evolve the brand. Come back to Sailing Club. So we've been in the process of evolving that program. We've had so many people in Sailing Club now, so many people who've done 2, 3, 4, 5, and well north of 5 voyages now. So this year, the program is similar to last year, and we are looking at what 26 and beyond looks like, and looking to evolve that program now to the next level again. Because I think it's time now that we created a much more robust Sailing Club program. Right now, we've just been sort of scratching the surface of what works. But we're open to feedback, and we're going to be reaching out to a lot of our first mates, reaching out to some of our sailors, and have them help us design the next evolution of Sailing Club.
See, I love that. I was going to ask everyone, hey, what do you want? And we're all going to answer, and then they're probably going to do it. I love that.
What do you want?
What do I want? Oh, gosh. I don't know yet.
There's a song about those, right? Yeah.
But you know what's funny? When you ask me that, I always go, it's so great right now. I'm good. Why change it? I love deep ocean.
I'm going to hold you to that.
I always say that. Actually, I do say that. What's funny when people say, they're like, oh, what's going to be? And I'm like, I think Deep Blue Extra is the most giving program, Sailor Club program ever. Like, I just think it's phenomenal. So that's me, but I'm also...
There's a lot of great benefits in there with laundry, with the bar tab and all of other things, right? It's actually a pretty rich program.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think it's great.
It's the right thing to do, right? We've got sailors that come on board. We've got sailors that are repeating, they're coming back, right? We want to make sure they continue to have a great time. We want to reward them for their loyalty. And so Sailing Club is an important part of our future. And it's a part of our future that will continue to evolve.
So one more quick question. Well, I don't know if it's quick, but it's on itineraries. So everyone asks us about itineraries too. And I love that you're getting them out quicker now, like you're releasing them earlier. Do you foresee that happening, continuing to go that way?
Yes. Okay. So a big piece of feedback we heard was that we didn't have itineraries out further enough, right? And so sometimes you had sailors who were looking to book for something a bit further out, and because we weren't available, we weren't out there, then they booked another product, right? And we said they would have liked to book us, right? So we're very focused now on getting itineraries open at least 2 years out in advance.
I love that.
Hopefully we'll have another itinerary opening coming up soon.
Yes. I think that's the new one everyone's,
so you're going to see a lot more itineraries out there. You're going to see a lot more diversified itinerary mix, as I mentioned, not just short products and mediums, but some longs. So cool. People have asked for longs. That Panama Canal sailing, that flew off the shelf, just showing you the demand for these longer sailings, right? I know. And we've got this year in the Med in particular, we've got some wonderful long sailings.
Yeah, you do.
Some great open doors.
I've been talking about those 11 constantly.
Nights. Yeah, they're beautiful itineraries.
Yeah, there's one that you can literally go from Iceland all the way down to Rome and see. And I always say you could see all of Western Europe, the entire in one, just keep going back to back. And you see the whole thing. Like, that's
correct.
Rare.
And that's the other thing we worked on also is we worked on trying to piece together really nice back-to-back opportunities. So you could start, to your point, you could start in Iceland and you could just keep going and piece it down. So very excited about that. We're getting a lot of great feedback about that. And then we've got Brilliant Lady coming this year.
I know,
our fourth ship coming online, which we're really excited about. She's going to be up in September and up in New York. And then she'll do what we're calling the Great North American, we're saying road trip, but it's not really a road trip. I guess it's a land trip?
Okay.
Well, no, that can't be a land trip, a sea trip.
Okay. Sea trip.
Well, a road trip would be going from New York to the West Coast, right? But we're taking the long way around. We're going all the way around by sea.
Yes. That is very true.
We really couldn't do a road trip. That would wouldn't really work, would it?
Yeah, no. Unless we put her on a, what is it called? One of those trailers. I don't know how to do that. That's not going to work.
Probably wouldn't want to work for sailors either. So anyway, so she's coming online. She's opening up in a Mermaiden in New York. 4 Mermaidens now with her.
Oh my gosh.
New York, Miami. Then she goes to the canal. Then there's a Mermaiden in LA, and then there's finally a Mermaiden up in Seattle. And then we have our Alaska season. I got to tell you, I've been blown away by the response to our Alaska season.
So great, right?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah, I keep hearing people want to be in Alaska sitting on a hammock and watch the landscape, right? No better way to do it.
No.
And so it's really wonderful,
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah, look, I say to people all the time now, when there's people say to me, tell me about Virgin Voyages and whether I should go Virgin Voyages, I say, well, look, if you're traveling without kids, then you should consider us, right? And I think it's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
Who's the customer for Virgin Voyages? It's anyone traveling without kids.
Yeah.
If you want a great value for money offering, if you want great food, great service, then we should be an option that you think about. And one of the things I also wanted to shout out is our crew. I think we have an incredible crew on board.
Oh my gosh, I agree with that.
They're the secret sauce that make this all happen. And so every time on board our ships, I always get reminded about that. I feel so proud of the team, and so proud of every one of our crew. And I hope that you and your sailors can come on board and get to experience them, because I think they're an incredible group of people.
I agree.
And there's an incredible culture on our ships. That is a secret sauce that makes us very special.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I cannot thank you enough for finally joining me. But next time we're going to get him to stay a little longer. We're going to make him sit right here a little bit longer. Time? Yeah, there's a next time.
We'll have to see what your audience says. What if we have bad feedback on this post?
See, you know what just happened? You passed my test, so you're allowed to sit there.
Oh, okay.
You're allowed to sit there again.
All right, perfect.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
And thank you to all you sailors out there for wanting to get to know us. For those of you who've sailed us, thank you. For those who are thinking about sailing us, give us a go. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
I agree with that. We usually end with one phrase that we always say, and it is actually downstairs at Scarlet Lady in Sailor Services, and it is "You float our boat."
Well, you didn't have to tell me, I knew that one.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
I was going to surprise you and say I knew it.
Oh, okay, so I should have said 1, 2, 3, and you would have done it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We'll try.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. You float our boat. Thanks, everyone. Bye.